everyone, Stormy Sensei here. It's the final week of Final Fantasy XVI, I believe. We are at the final boss of the game, I'm pretty sure. We're doing side quests. Gonna do maybe about 90 minutes or so of content here.
The hour fast approaches. Make ready.
Let's take a look at what we got here to do. Where there's a will, nobody's tool, trial and error. So we got, I think there were 8 quests to do. Let's go ahead and start with where there's a will. Oh, but before we do that, I forgot. We actually are going to first do a character deep dive. Let's see what character we're going to do today. We're going to take someone's inner thoughts.
Clive.
Let's find someone whose quest we've already finished.
How may I help you today? Here's the latest information I have.
Like... we did Torgal already. Let's do... Did we already do Vivian? I think we did Vivian already. And we did Hippocrates, right? Yep. Yep. So then let's do Tarja. The Pokemon NXT even my own. He'll drink himself to an early grave. Yeah, a doctor would think that about Blackthorn. Worries too much for her, we'd all starve. He'll work himself to death. The man you can rely on. He's talking about Sid. An Imperial Bear, who looks like he's seen a lot. Thinking of Clive. He might be the halest of us all. Young Torgal. Can't let her die yet, because her first interaction was her saving Jill's life. The Matter Dimension will come back without a scratch on him. Surprising. It's good to... Sid made a decent job in that dressing. You should thank him. Oh, of that dressing. Oh, so that's back when we saved Gav from the Imperials, where we had to like fight that dragoon with the dragons. He was touch and go there for a moment there. Oh yeah, right. Every life is worth saving is her thoughts about herself. She doesn't think much about others, which is fine. Don't push yourself. Okay. And then when he attacks, how'd he find us? Hope he made it out. You can't drink when you're dead. You want to be safe. Yeah, because he got his eye cut. Bring the wounded to me, he says to Otto. Keep Karen safe. You won't die here. Be safe. She doesn't know that he's dead. Stay as far away from here as you can. Be safe. Live. Far be it from me to wish anyone a painful death, but you did kill everyone that I love. These two took Sid's life. Okay, so Sid does tell them about Ultima. A friend in need of constant medical attention. Still can't believe he's gone. You take more care of yourself. He has a nose for trouble like he always did. He'll work himself to death. She still thinks that. Still thinks all these things. Clive and the Curse Breakers like to keep me busy is her new thought about herself. He's growing well, she's eating well. No matter times I warn her against it, she still sleeps at her desk. She'd make a fine field medic herself. Or she's making a fine field medic of herself. Health personified, Cole. His back grieves him immensely, or so he tells me. The curse is spread, yeah. The bear's curse. The more you use the magic within you, the more quickly you turn to stone. She gives her all for the cause. It's done. Yep. We won't just survive, we'll live. It's actually kind of cool that eventually everyone just stops thinking about Hugo because, you know, you've moved on to other things. Nothing more I can prescribe for him but rest. His condition is beyond anything I can heal. She did think that. Would it kill him to listen to his healer? Jote's making herself useful. I'll do what I can for both of them, but no promises. Speaking about Joshua and Dion, how long can they hold out against an army of Akashic? He's as reckless as his nephew. Another disobedient princeling. And Jill's in your charge. Oh, and then we lose her. Wait, kill these people to stay out of danger. That's why you need a good medic. We would have died a long time ago without Taya. It's a miracle you survived all that. As reckless as his nephews, plural now. She's found her calling, piloting the ship. Don't give Jill anything else to weep over. You keep Clive in line. She doesn't like his baths, is now what she thinks about Torgal. Eat and eat well about the pregnant woman. I think her name is Ella or something like that. Etta, that was close. You don't know what you're up against, to Ultima. All you do is pray for their success. He never lets anything get him down. He's on his own chosen path. Nothing can stop him. A desire for self-preservation runs in the family. He's chosen his own path now. Let's see if we can
Very good.
make things a little bit better for the world, though. So now that we're done with their inner thoughts,
You be careful up there. But if you happen to snag your britches on anything, be sure to bring them back to me. I'll get them patched up right away.
Ah, Clive. This is it then, brother. Indeed. You're wrong. Of course. Joshua, what's wrong? And don't say nothing. It's not nothing. I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will, or something akin to it. His will? How and where?
what a clever quest name,
The
where
crypt
there's a will.
beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the duchy yet remained. And in the process of doing so, they found a letter from Father. I'm surprised anything survived down there. Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have been meaning to go, but would you join me? Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much as you do. Very well. I am ready to leave when you are.
Off to Tabor.
The bearer of the burning quill is within, my lord.
Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous.
Cyril, you found a letter from Father.
Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
I know that I ask much of you in this coming war. I see no other way to secure a future of our duchy and our family. Yet even should we succeed in subduing the savages and winning back the Drake's breath, the threat of the Blight still looms, and only with all Rosaria striving as one might we at last overcome it. I have made plans to see us through, but such are obstacles that stand in our way, it shall likely fall to you to continue my work. And I know you have the strength, the courage, and the will to do so. This shall be an arduous inheritance, and so I offer you another, that you might be reminded of the love, the faith that I hold for both of you. Your father, Elwyn. Hey there, Bray Lizzie.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate. What are these plans he spoke of?
His plans for the duchy, your grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the burning quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim.
Oh, wow.
But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the blight spreading ever more widely across the twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the
It's a
only
shame that Elwyn
means
had
of
to die.
securing
He had some
Rosaria's
good
survival.
ideas.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equal. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides. Those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
It is true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains. And she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
I wonder who it is. It could be Isabel. Or Isabella. She's she leads the Veil now, but that's only because maybe of the way the Duchy works.
This is the Required Tree, an archive where we of the Undying collect and collate our findings. Fragments of Ultima's true nature surely lie buried within these pages. We have only to unearth them.
The Undying are not the only secret fellowship in this realm, you know. There are others, each working for their own ends. Why, not so very long ago, a society committed to discovering how one might cast magics without a catalyst was found to be operating throughout Valisthea. They were denounced as heretics, rooted out, and driven from our shores, never to be seen again.
But aren't those just bears? Why would that be so heretical? Oh yeah, the monoliths. It was definitely not Isabella. She is much older. Much, much older.
My lord, your grace. I hardly recognize you. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady, perhaps you could explain a little more? What exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain keepsakes upon their coming of age.
Indeed it has.
Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both. Alas, he did not live. Indeed, he was taken from us even before they could be completed. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be. And his gifts remain incomplete.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you, as they are. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished articles, not these, works in progress. But with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed, I had little choice. You are grown men now, and his house is yours. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have pleased him more than for you to do so.
Thank you, Lady Goditha.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady. May our father's will be done.
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do.
Already sold.
Though it may be a matter of a good deal more than simply happening upon it. It is found in the bellies of elder griffins, you see. We do at least know where to find them. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's Wake, not far from here.
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, Your Grace. In answer to your unspoken question, yes. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movements since you were but a boy. Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rosfield, it would surely make your father proud.
What say you, Joshua?
What else?
They're such brothers.
Titan's Wake is to the south of here. But we must not be hasty. The good lady has been disappointed once already.
Are you saying that we would die? That would be a great disappointment.
Welcome, welcome. Take care.
Look kind of tough. You know. And he looks tough from a distance. Big guy carrying your giant club. never gets old.
Eyes peeled, Joshua.
There it is. For House Rosfield.
Ooh. Well, hey there, Mindless Meat and Chomper. You know, I don't know if you remember, but I actually have been watching some of your playthroughs of your Final Fantasy games as well through I'm Not Great. Alright, you do remember. Okay. But how's the Final Fantasy IX going? I think that was 2 games ago for me. I did 9 followed by 12. Yes, yours. Because I'm Not Great did a community post plugging your, which one was it? Maybe Final Fantasy 1, I think. And I started following, but there were too many videos for me to keep up. But I occasionally see a couple of the stuff. I saw some of your Final Fantasy VI. Is that right? Or might be thinking about someone else. I watch a lot of stuff. But I definitely watched your Final Fantasy 1 and saw that you were on Final Fantasy 9 right now. And I think that I saw some of your Final Fantasy 6, but it was a long time ago though.
Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Goditha will know.
That was actually surprisingly tough. I don't need to fast travel. It's literally right here.
Let's go.
Yeah, for myself, I think that, let's see, I've done 9, 10, 8, 12, and now I'm doing 16. Next will be 1. It's kind of all over the place, but there used to be an order that made sense, and then I got access to all of the Pixel Remaster, and so now I have a new order that also kind of makes sense, but only to me. Yeah, all the main games in order. That's a good way to do it. I'm doing, what I originally was doing was I was alternating, because I didn't want to have like a whole bunch of old games followed by a whole bunch of new games. So the idea was, since I had access to 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 to 13, 12, and 15 Pocket Edition, I was going to go like in the center and then hop around. So like 9, 10, 8, 12, 7, 13. Oh, and then I would have done 6, followed by 15 finally. But then like they announced Final Fantasy 16, so then I got like the real Final Fantasy 15 instead of Pocket Edition. I got Final Fantasy 16, and then I got, you know, the Pixel Remasters. So I was like, well, if I kept up with the way that I'm currently doing it, then I'm going to have like to do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 all in a row, and that doesn't make any sense. I'm so sad for 13 isn't on PS Plus. I'm really hoping that my Xbox still works when I want to do Final Fantasy 13, because I do have it on 360 along with 13.2 and Lightning Returns, and I'm actually very excited to play through it. But I'm actually really worried that my Xbox, which I haven't played in like 3 years and it was already old at that point, just will give up and not be able to play it. I have the Pixel Remasters on the Switch actually, because I wanted to be able to just play it on the go. I do have PlayStation Plus, which I think gives me access to a couple of other Final Fantasy games like Type 0 and like 1 or 2 other things. I think that I get some deal on Final Fantasy 14 with PlayStation, maybe. I don't really know. I haven't looked into it. I only just got PlayStation Plus this month because it was on super sale for the new year.
Oh, thank the Founder you were safe. The Griffin is slain then?
And the Heartstone claimed.
Yes, this radiant luster like frozen flame. It is just as your father described it. Thank you, my lord. Your grace. Your father would be so proud.
Lady Goditha, the lapidary is ready.
Thank you, Cyril. I will be with him shortly. If you would excuse me, I shall have the stone cut and set forthwith. The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. They are yours, after all. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes unwavering will and devotion. And the graven vines encircling the stone represent the unbreakable bonds between you.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and outside the duchy. Enemies who would thwart his vision. Only with unwavering devotion would it ever be realized.
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms. Only then might those enemies be overcome.
Indeed. His Grace knew the enormity of the task he would entrust to you, his heirs. But this was more than just a message. It was a promise. That he would always be with you.
Thank you, Lady Goditha, for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intentions for the bands, of the deep love he had for both of you, and his hopes for your future. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry be sent away from the castle. It was then that I knew she meant to betray us. I tried to warn your father, but it was too late. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armbands and I fled into the night.
Wow.
And thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the Heartstone on its passing. And so my pursuit continued, until Lord Cyril appeared before me. He informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered, and that his sons were alive and well.
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my father and all the people of Rosaria, I thank you for your loyal service.
As do I.
Thank you, my lord. Your Grace, for coming back to us, for giving my service meaning.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that was denied you for so long.
It is. And we thank you for the part you played, Cyril.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, might I suggest that you make your way to your father's memorial atop Hawk's Cry Cliff? Let him see that you have received his blessing, and that his vision lives on in you.
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive? Should we pay Father a visit?
It's my first time
think we
hearing
should.
about his grave.
I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks before we left for Origin.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. It has been since the day we recovered it from Phoenix Gate. I prithee claim it. For it too is a part of your inheritance, and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hands than perched upon some lonely rock.
Thank you, Cyril. Come on, Clive. He's waiting.
Oh man, I was really hoping that we would finally be able to have access to this area. We really still don't. It's like the end of the game.
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
To save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies? Of that I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. What Mother was truly capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us, would have made all the difference.
Quiet.
So, I was talking about before we were interrupted by that cutscene. The new order that I'm thinking about doing is we're going to finish 16, and then we're going to go back to 1. No, sorry, we're not doing 1 for after this. We're doing 10-2 after
like
this.
that.
And the reason for that is because we finished 10 like 2 games ago, like almost 2 years ago at this point. And I don't want it to be too far between 10 and 10-2 so that people forget about the story for 10.
Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down.
That was very well shot.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
Where there's a will, complete. Do we count that as Joshua or as Elwyn? Oh, cool. Well, I wouldn't have had that if I didn't do that story. How very helpful. 10-2 I have mixed feelings on. I liked the battle system a lot, but the plot was very meh. They ruined the blitzball. I don't really remember very much about 10-2. My experience with the game is that I played it when it came out, and I remember that I basically missed like one thing I was supposed to do in order to get 100%, and therefore I had to play through the game a second time all the way through. Like I missed something in chapter like 2 or something like that, and so I basically played through the entire game like rushing it so that I could just circle back around to get the 100% bonus for the game. Would not recommend doing that. And that was also back when I was very young and basically following strategy guides, you know, word for word, not actually really paying attention to like anything. It was basically go here, do this, go there, do that. So, you know, I was following a list of instructions back then. I wasn't expecting doing side quests to give us more side quests, although I guess I should have realized that. Let's do priceless now.
If Joshua's worried about Jill, I should go and speak with him.
Back to comparisons of 10-2 and 10. I actually do not like Blitzball in 10, like, at all. It, like, gives you just not enough control over your characters, and there's just, like, a little bit too much randomness in it that makes me dislike it. So I've never really, like, gotten into it. The most I've ever done is like, yeah, sometimes I'll cheese the win for the first Blitzball game. But it seems like it's kind of interesting, like the recruiting and the job, or not the jobs, but like the recruiting and the skill growths for the different characters, and, you know, doing the different championship leagues. It's just, too much. Like, I already could easily spend 200 hours doing Final Fantasy X stuff without even going into Blitzball once.
Joshua, I read your message. You're right. Jill is different. I don't think I'd realized how different, but since we returned from Drake's spine, I've felt it more and more.
I suppose it's not hard to imagine why.
She doesn't think she belongs anymore.
And that's why we need to remind her she is still one of us. To let her know that we still need her, now more than ever. That you still need her. But how to do that? When last we were truly close, we were but children.
Of course. Do you remember the time we accompanied Father on his annual tour of the Duchy? And Jill and I broke from the procession to ride up Man's Hill.
Yeah, to see the snow daisies, I remember. It was the first time Father had allowed us to join him. And when he realized you were missing, he had the entire retinue down to the pop boys combing the countryside.
In the rain. A thunderstorm forced us to take refuge in a grove of oaks before we'd even made it halfway there. It was the Lord Commander who finally found us, and needless to say, he was none too pleased.
Then it seems you and Jill have unfinished business. What do you say?
Man's Hill. It's not that far.
True. Though I suspect it is also much changed. Little in southern Rosaria remains as it was when we were children.
You're saying I should go and scout the area for bandits?
I'm saying we should first go and see if there are actually still any snow daisies left. What would you do without me, Clive? I can't say my travels ever took me back to Man's Hill. I'm curious to see how it has fared.
I've been waiting for this for 60 hours.
This is the place, but...
I'm sorry, Clive.
There's nowhere been spared. What do we do now?
We keep looking. Man's Hill cannot be the only place where snow daisies grow.
Perhaps, but... it's the only place I know of.
Then why not ask someone who might know of another?
Someone at the backyard. To the hideaway, then.
Yeah, about that. We're gonna keep going this direction. Oh, was that really the end of it? Oh, I thought there was be more of an area. That's disappointing. That's alright. I'm still a sucker for completing the map, so I'm glad that I got it. I don't actually think that there's anywhere else that is...
Let's hope one of the gardeners knows where to find snow daisies.
I have a thought of my own as to where we might find information on the realm's flora. Leave it with me. You search for answers in the backyard.
Say what you will. Lady Karen This should tide us over until the new moon.
What brings you down from the heavens, Sid?
I need your advice. Joshua and I are looking for a place where snow daisies grow. Preferably in abundance.
Snow daisies. Then you'll want somewhere not too hot and not too cold. And where the winds are strong enough to carry the seeds. I reckon Man's Hill would be a good place to start. There in the Royal Meadows, perhaps? Both have similar climbs and the right elevation. If the Blight hasn't claimed them yet.
Right. Thank you.
Did
Royal
you learn
Meadows
where
of
we might
Sembreck.
find our flowers?
The gardener here mentioned the Royal Meadows in Sembreck.
Ah, the fields beyond Northreach. Well, if that's the case, then Yeti was right. I recalled that she kept a record of our travels, you see. So I asked her if she'd perhaps noted anywhere that snow daisies grew, and she mentioned Oilerfeist Bay.
Whose shores border the meadows. Off we go then.
The winds that blow across the royal meadows from Oilerfeist Bay are strong indeed. Strong enough.
Oops.
Snow daisies, it seems.
Didn't mean to cut you off there, Joshua. My bad. Just because I don't want to accidentally trigger any cutscenes or any other quests going through Northreach, I'll just start on the opposite side.
Ready, go? Fly, Ambrosia.
Caution, brother.
Just the one of you, eh? The meadows are vast. Where do we even start?
Yeti mentioned the coastline. We can start there.
Be safe.
Do you see them?
I do. Flowers. And our friends. What do you see, boy? Let's hope this is the last one.
Only one way to find out.
Have a good night, mindless meat. Thanks for stopping by. We had another hour or so. Hopefully we can finish all these side quests.
That was harder than I
Also want to
expected.
beat the game on Friday.
But Founder, it was worth it. They're beautiful.
Do you think Jill will like them?
She'll love them. Come on. Let's go.
It appears my work is done. The rest, as they say, is up to you. Well, you and the skies. We wouldn't want another thunderstorm now, would we?
Jill, there's something I'd like to show you.
There is? And where might this something be?
All the way in Sembrek.
It's, not here. Now, I know this is sudden, but how would you fancy a trip to Oriflamme?
There are so many. This is what you wanted to show me. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. The smile on your face is enough. We've been worried about you. Joshua and I. Do you remember when I took you to Man's Hill? Or tried to?
How could I forget? You saw me crying and thought a change of scenery might lift my spirits. In the end, it earned me a nasty cough and a stern scolding from your mother. But I felt wonderful nonetheless.
I'm sorry. I had no idea what I was getting us both into. But I couldn't bear to see you like that.
Before we left, my chambermaid told me she'd overheard your mother talking about my marriage prospects with some of the noblewomen at court. They were debating whether it would be more profitable to marry me off to one of the high houses instead of saving me for the ducal line. No one thought to ask me what I wanted. I was nothing to them. A pawn at best. I felt so trapped. So lonely.
I didn't know.
But I wasn't alone. You were there. Your hand in mine as we ran for those oaks. And I knew then, no matter what happened, I would be all right. I'll never forget that feeling.
Just gotta jump in and say that they're not actually related by blood, by the way.
Before we broke camp, the morning after the storm, do you know what I did?
No? What?
I slipped away from my governess to climb the Tor, And from there, I saw a sea of petals, all reaching for the sun. And I realized that no matter how terrible the night, dawn would always come. That you would always come for me. And you have. Again and again.
Where do you see us? When all this is over?
I don't know. Not here, though. I think I've outgrown the twins. After everything we've been through, the realm just seems so small. I'll need some space to spread my wings.
And that's what you'll have. And I'll stop at nothing to see that you do.
I never was much good at garlands, but it'll have to do.
I'll treasure it forever.
Thank you, Clive. For this, the flowers, for everything. It's exactly what I needed. You are my treasure. We should probably be getting back. I expect the others are wondering where we are.
You're right. There's still much to do.
And we'll do it together.
Level up. 48, getting closer to that level cap. Diamond Dust cooldown reduction by 7.5 seconds. I don't use Diamond Dust, but nice. So now I have Jill, but I had Joshua. Will I be able to swap between the two? Will I be able to have a party of 4? New missive again.
Brother, I put Father's helm in your chambers. He should be with you when his vision is finally realized.
Thank you, Joshua. For everything.
Don't mention it. All is well, I trust? His flame burns in your heart. You have but to say the word.
One, two, three, four, five, six. Only 6 more memorabilia to pick up. The greatest gift. Feels like a lifetime ago. It was a lifetime ago. That afternoon on Man's Hill was our first adventure. Somehow I knew even then would not be our last.
Clive, do you have a moment?
Of course. Always.
I wanted to give you something.
Is this?
I stitched it from the cloth you gave Hortense. The piece she said you liked best. I told her I used to enjoy needlework, but I didn't think she'd remember.
It's beautiful, Jill. You didn't have to.
When I was very little, I recall my mother telling me that young ladies of the court would give knights ribbons from their hair before they went off to war. I still wear mine, so I made you this instead. White is the color of faith. Faith in your friends, your family, your purpose. Unblemished, unfeigned. Just like my faith in you.
Our faith. May it ever steer us true.
And may it ever bring you back to me. I will always, always be here.
Thank you, Jill.
Silken handkerchief. Now I wonder what the other items would have been. Because I chose white, I think, as the color. Founder's Grasp. Slightly better. I mean, I don't know if it's better. It's technically slightly worse. It's better to have high, once you're like at this much HP, I don't think the defense actually matters one way or the other. What kind of sorting is this? Alright, do we dare take the time to go through Joshua's inner thoughts or Jill's inner thoughts? Because we just did Joshua and Jill one after another, and those are going to be more complex than the other characters. We gotta do them eventually, I suppose. Kind of think we only have like 3 streams left. There's no way we're actually going to finish all the inner thoughts.
What will it
There's
be
just too many
today?
characters.
Allow me to educate you. Of course.
Guess we'll start with Joshua. I don't have what it takes to keep our people safe. That's his innermost thought about himself. That's so sad. I don't want to disappoint him. She can be scary, but I think it's only because she loves me. And then he was presumed deceased for a while. For quite a while. I will do my duty. Try to get my brother now, after he saved us. Forgive my deceit. I must go alone. I will join you anon. Sacrifice will not be in vain. Yea, he saved us from Ultima. Thank the founder, she is safe. Shall not have my brother. The fiend must be unmasked. I guess Joshua doesn't really do too much with other people, which is convenient. I cannot keep him sealed away for much longer. Beware, brother. Ultima's will, his hunger, grows ever stronger. If I can convince Dion to join me, I thank you for your kindness, medicine girl. Who is this, Sir Terrence? Oh, they explicitly say that they're lovers here in the message. I gathered that in their last cutscene together, but I didn't realize that if you read into it, it would be explicit. So Sid was gay, and Dion is gay, and I think also Gav? I have a tale to tell you, he says. Okay. Let us fight as one. Did Mother love you as she did me? Thinking about Olivier Lestrange, or Lesage. And goodbye, Mother. Cyril continues the investigation, protect the people in the hideaway as you did me. He awakens soon. Power grows strong with each passing day. Why does he serve Ultima? She is the same gentle soul I remember. Charming in a gruff way. Spirited soul. I was unconscious. For my brother to be bested so completely. Oh yeah, we got real badly beaten the first couple of times we fought Odin. Barnabas was one tough cookie. Literally split the ocean in two. In Edgel? In Edgy? I don't know that I know what that word means. I fought with all my strength and yet still, even pinned, I could not match him. Ooh, that's a lot of thoughts he has here now. How many times do I have to tell you you are not alone? Ultima's final secrets may lay hidden in that stronghold. This is where we split up momentarily. And he comes to save us in our fight against Barnabas. Final Mothercrystal will fall, I swear it. We go to dethrone a god. Forgive my disobedience, my lady. Yeah. We got it on both ends. Alright, that was Joshua's inner thoughts.
Thus ends today's lesson.
Maybe we won't end up doing all the side characters. Probably most of them don't even really have much. As like a lot of them don't interact with anyone else. I feel like I might find like something interesting here or there. About 20 minutes left. That sounds like maybe one more side quest. I want to quickly just speak with Jill and see what her extra dialogue is.
It's not time yet, is it? Somewhere in the back of my mind. I know. Thank you. And so for now,
Even though she's talking about like crying, that was such a metal line. Until the skies cover and that she's able to see the stars again, she won't cry, because only the stars are allowed to see her cry.
For so long. So when this is over, I'm always with you, Clive.
First the skies, then the crystal.
Say what you will. Lady Karen has seen her.
I've arbitrarily decided that our next mission is going to be aiming high. Or will it be... Yeah, let's do aiming high. Why not? Let's work on some kids' education. I'm assuming that's what it's for. She finally finished her book. Good for her. She's been talking about finishing that book.
Whatever should I write next?
The
A
whole
love
game.
story, perhaps? But with a happy ending, of course.
I can't talk to her though. But yeah, she finally wrote that book.
When you return, would you mind teaching the children another lesson? They did so enjoy your last.
What do you think happened to Miss Midadol? I heard she was kicked out of the university.
The university that, well, I guess they don't know about Camber. And they probably shouldn't, they're just kids. Probably shouldn't tell them that the entire city was turned into a bunch of zombies and we had to kill them all.
Sid, you have to help us.
With what? You didn't take apart another of Mid's contraptions, did you?
No. Well, yes. But that's not what we want to talk to you about.
It's Miss Midadol. She's been acting strange. Very strange. She's barely ever around.
When she is, she acts like we aren't even there. Her head's in a crowd.
In the clouds.
In the clouds.
That's what I said. In the clouds.
Well, she does have a lot on her mind. When did you last see her?
Not long ago. Right after she got back from saving you from Stoney.
Then it's probably just about the Enterprise. It did take quite a battering on the way there and back.
You didn't break it, did you, Sid? You really should be more careful around Miss Midadol's inventions.
You're telling me?
Don't listen to her. Even if you did break the Enterprise, you could put it back together, couldn't you?
I would not be able
Who's
to.
gonna put Miss Midadol back together? She seems really sad.
Why don't I go and see if I can cheer her up?
You do that? For us? She's in her dungeon.
Don't scare him. It's not a real dungeon.
Thanks for the warning.
Miss Shirley says we're not allowed in the dungeon. But Miss Midadol doesn't mind.
Mid, if you have a...
That's it! I knew it! The answer was right here under my arse all along! If this doesn't steer to the skies, nothing will!
To the skies? You aren't trying to give the Enterprise wings, are you?
What else would I be doing?
The children seem to think you're avoiding them. They're worried about you. Is this really so important that you need to shut yourself away from everyone?
Yes,
The
actually.
Enterprise is already the fastest ship in the realm, and that's with the sea beneath her. But what if she weren't bound to the waves? What if she weren't bound to anything at all? It's not fair. The gods get the skies all to themselves, so I'm gonna do something about it. The Fallen had their chance, but they relied too much on magic. And see where that got them? But not me. I've discovered how to do it without. Well, almost. First I need to make a prototype.
And is that a one-woman job?
Are you volunteering? I'll have you know the Enterprise is my baby. But if a godfather's offering to lend a hand, I'd be happy to take it. First, I'll need oil, and not just some old drippings from Miss Molly's spits in the tub and crown. Refined stuff, like they make in Ordil. Then I'll need some bone, or shell. Light, strong, preferably no longer attached to the beast it belongs to.
If it's beast bones you're after, I'm sure the curse breakers will know where you might find some.
No, they'll know where you might find some. You're the one who offered to help, remember?
I should speak with one of the curse breakers before I set off for Old Hill. See if I can't find this bone while I'm there as well.
They make an oil down at the docks in Aldale that's as slippery as the sea nasties they render it from. With that and the bone I told you about, I shall be able to finish the prototype.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project yet?
Not exactly. She seems preoccupied, but then again, when isn't she?
All this time, my heart has wandered hither and thither in search of the perfect companion. When all along he was here, standing right beside me.
I wonder if she would still have that dialogue if we didn't talk to her throughout the entire game.
All right, Sid. Come to buy us around, have you?
Only if you earn it. Mid needs a piece of light but durable bone for her next project. You've encountered your share of beasts on your travels across the realm. Any ideas?
Most bones are the same. Whack 'em hard enough and they'll break. If it's
Not dragon
durability
bones,
you're
though.
looking for, shell will serve you better.
Oh, an
You know what an adamantus
adamantoise.
is?
I do. And I know to give them a wide berth. Will any old adamantus do?
Well, with shells, the older the harder. There's a rumour of an ancient adamantus down in Karava, near Bidza. All what's left of the village anyway. But don't expect to make quick work of the bastard. There's a reason it's lived as long as it has.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Adamantoises are like top tier Final Fantasy staple villains or staple enemies.
Mid's well. After what happened here, it's a miracle there was any left at all.
And if I don't have to kill everything here, I'd be cool with letting some things live. There we go.
This should be enough.
That was surprisingly uneventful. Glad that I have a full party of 4. for this fight here. It's probably not going to be that tough, but just in case. Just because it's been so long since I last saved.
Here we are again. Carava. If you were a tortoise, Torgal, where would you hide? Looks like we found him. Slow.
Alright, sometimes Adamantauruses are some of the strongest stuff in the game. This was not one of those times, though.
I better get these materials to Mid so she can finish her prototype.
Does not hurt to be overly cautious. When you hear things like, you know, curls and Marlboros and behemoths and iron giants, tunberries, cactar kings, you just gotta be ultra careful.
Tell me this is all you need.
It is not.
Aw, you make it sound like I asked you to save the world or something.
Tell me this is all you need.
It's most of what I need. After you left, I went over the figures again, and I realized I'd forgotten a 1 and a 0.
And
a cogwheel. Just a tiny one. Though, that's the problem. Gears that small are a bastard to make, and I may have lost the one Blackthorn spent a fortnight toiling over.
Wait. The children. When they took apart your scales, there was a tiny brass gear. Now that I think about it, they didn't use it when we put the scales back together.
The young'uns? But why would they... You know what? I don't want to know. I'll keep working on the model. You go and find that cog.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project yet?
Not exactly. She seems preoccupied.
Sid! Is Mid still hiding from us?
She wasn't hiding. She's fine. She's just busy working on her next project.
A new invention? What is it? What is it? Is it an airship? I bet it's an airship!
Do you think she'll let us help?
These kids catch on quick.
That just so happens to be why I'm here. She needs something special, something only you three can provide. A brass gear. A tiny one. One that might fit on, say, a set of scales.
Oh, the one you forgot! We remember!
We saved it, just in case. It's in the bag of bits.
The bag of bits.
Since your lesson, we've been disassembling, then reassembling everything we can find.
Oh.
All the pieces that are left over, we keep under our beds, just in case.
That's good to know.
Look!
You gotta love kids. They've been breaking everything in the hideaway, basically.
Is that all? Just the gear? We have more parts if Mid needs them.
That's all for now. But I'll let Mid know about your hoard. Just in case.
Thanks, Sid.
I can't believe that little throwaway line and that earlier quest, like, are all these side quests possible because of the side quests that I did in the past? But I've been locked out of all this stuff earlier?
Well,
if I didn't do the stuff earlier?
They did. And they kept it somewhere nice and safe. Will it work?
will it work? It's perfect! You're a genius, Clive.
What exactly are you going to use it for?
Only the most important job of all. The wings aren't going to move on their own, but with the right cog in the right place, well, you just wait and see.
Oh man, it's an airship.
Do it? Here goes nothing. Titan's tits.
It wasn't supposed to fly, was it?
Of course it was supposed to fly. Wouldn't be much of an airship if it didn't. Honestly, these bloody engines are driving me mad. I was so sure this would be the day she soared. The mithril engine was made to make dreams come true. But maybe this is one dream the world's better off without. Show folk how to take flying. It won't be long till they're raining death down on each other.
So
People
true.
will lose their homes, children, their mums and their dads. Like I lost mine.
I'm sorry.
So am I, Clive. So am I. Sorry that I have to choose. Do I follow my head, or do I follow my heart?
Good question. first time I stood on the deck of your ship, felt the wind in my hair. It was like I was flying. But imagine how it would feel to actually do it.
My dad always said there were two ways of living life. Chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. And he were right. Right about a lot of things. Not that I like to admit it. People need dreams to chase. Especially in a world like this. Right. When this is over, I'm gonna take all my mithril engines to Zemeckis and sling them over the edge. I won't have my dream end up turning into someone else's nightmare.
But all that hard work...
All that hard work will not be used for war, Jamie. But it ain't like it'll be gone. Tell me, Clive, have you ever been on a treasure hunt?
Not since Joshua and I were boys. Why do you ask?
Because I'm gonna bury the engine schematics and leave behind a little riddle telling people where to find them. A really hard one, so that only the most dedicated dreamers will ever be able to work it out. Ooh, I can picture it now. Some daft general squinting at the words with a gormless expression on his mug. Like that one, yeah.
Right.
Of course, if I'm putting this engine at the end of a treasure hunt, I'll still need to make it a treasure worth hunting for. Won't be much of a prize if it couldn't even make a toy boat fly after all. My dad always said, dream big. But it ain't the size of a dream that's important, is it, Clive? Only that it's a good one. And I reckon I've got a fair few good uns left in me.
I'm sure you do. What shall I do with your model? You spent a lot of time on it. We both did.
What, that old thing? Not healthy to cling to your failures, Clive. They'll weigh you down, you know.
Sound advice.
Still, I suppose my prototypes will probably be worth a fair bit when I'm as famous as Bart's the Builder. Seeing as you're always strapped for coin, I suppose I can give it to you. Just make sure you get a good price when you do come to part with it.
I'd say that was up to you as much as me.
Need something?
Make a name for yourself.
You better bloody had to and all. Enjoy it while you can, Clive. Imagine that, eh? Till then, though. Give a melon off, Clive.
That was a pretty good quest.
That crystal certainly don't bode well. The just think of all the secrets it must hold. Here, if you're planning on going up there, you could bring a bit back for me, could you?
It's a little past midnight, but it's not quite at the 2-hour mark.
Exactly. She seems preoccupied, but then again, when isn't she?
So we have time to maybe go through Mid's inner thoughts. At the pace that I'm going at, we still have 6 more quests to do, and I did 3, maybe 4 today. 3, maybe 4 this time.
Fancy a look at the list, do you? Quick look.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, we got 6 left now. But doing any one of those missions might actually cause us to have another mission.
What will it be today? How may I help you today?
It took a while for Mid to enter the scene, so we don't have to go through as much. The barmiest barn pot in all of Valisthea. There's no one like Nan. Pleasure doing business with you. Next one, to get a hit pays for lunch. She's teaching me self-defense. A little tear. Shouldn't you have your face buried in a dusty old tome? His voice can send you off to sleep, in a good way, mind. Few cuts, bruises, and burns are just part of life. Craft anything if you can put up with his grumbling. My big brother. Whatever you need, he'll sort you out. He's just a big puppy. Always good for a laugh. He's as brave as anything. I'm more than happy to string him up myself. Since he killed... Actually, he didn't kill her father, but he killed all of his friends, though. Captain of the Invincible. What? The Invincible? What is that? It's not the Enterprise. Aye, that's what you get. Thanks for the bot. I'll pay you later. For the mithril shielding. This is when she stole a boat and then went to Canver when she was supposed to be visiting Sid's grave. So she says, I'll come when I'm ready. And I'm going to make our dream a reality. I feel like I should be able to cause her to go to Sid's grave. Just to make sure that. Just wanted to see if she ever changes, because she's the only one over here. So I don't need to worry about scrolling over there anymore. Why is she unavailable? Oh, because she was besieged in Canberra. That makes sense. Could have Clive down like it was nothing. Alright, alright. This is what we dreamed of, Dad. Enterprise, engage. When we catch up to the Anyar, the rest is up to you. He's tougher than he looks. See you soon, I own one. Like so you won't stop us. Oh, he can split the body, see? That's what I was saying too. One of my favorite scenes of the year. He was born to be a boatswain. Why does everyone keep on having an opinion about Oscar? Like, did I miss something? I guess I was tired when I finished that quest, and maybe I didn't pay as much attention to the dialogue as I should have. Big sister I never had. I think maybe the hideaway that we're currently in is called the Invincible. Because we're living in a fallen ship in the middle of the lake. But I'm going to go to, what's his name? Hippocrates, and double check what the Invincible is. He killed my dad. Yeah, he did. Time to face the consequences.
Very good.
I think that the rest of the quests will be a lot shorter.
My boy, do you know why? 'Twas not 20 summers past. Your mother, the Duchess. But above all, and so you see, we'll be fine, Clive.
You're going somewhere, Sid? Can we come? I promise we'll be good.
Maybe next time, kids.
Knowledge hoarded is knowledge lost. I have compiled some new entries, if you would like to see them. You wish to study the tomes?
The Invincible is just like not here. Oh. I didn't realize that she's actually the adopted daughter of Sid. Thought that she was actually his actual daughter. Oh, there it is. Legend has the people of the fallen once sailed throughout the skies in the bellies of these ships. They all now lie shattered and silent on the surface below. The Invincible, in which Clive and his allies have built their new hideaway, being one such relic. So advanced was the fallen's technology that it was nigh indistinguishable from magic, leading the historians of the early modern era to remember them as the Men of Magic, or the Men of Magical Technology. Midstream to bring this technology back to life, that humanity might take flight once more. But now she kind of doesn't want to do that. But maybe we can convince her to do it later on? I don't know. There we go. We learned
Did you learn everything you needed?
That we're currently in the Invincible. And now we're down to 6 quests? Yes, down to 6 quests. I'm going to try to get a stream going on Wednesday. To finish off the rest of these side quests. There are 6 quests, but only 5 souvenirs to get. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 6 quests, 5 more souvenirs. If I had to guess which one won't actually give us an actual souvenir. So Lubor definitely will give us something. And Cyril definitely will give us something. Maybe they won't. They're not really one for like circumstance and whatnot. Not circumstance, but definitely she'll give us something. Isabella will. It's a little daunting, but what we'll do is I'll just actually stream, and I won't do my Star Rail missions before the stream, because I actually have been at home since like 6 and just like played Star Rail for 4 hours when I should have done this stream instead. But Wednesday will be different. I've already done my weekly tasks in that game, so I can just do the daily tasks and then not have to worry about the weekly tasks. We'll be back with more Final Fantasy XVI on Wednesday. Like I said, we're going to try to finish up the side quests and make room for Friday's stream, in which we will beat the game and see all the cutscenes and whatnot. Tuesday and Thursday we'll be playing Super Smash Brothers. Maybe not though, because it's getting kind of close to Christmas, and if people are gone and there's no one to play Smash with, then maybe I'll squeeze in some Final Fantasy 16 at that point, because maybe I end up like just not doing, or maybe we'll see. If I finish all the side quests on Wednesday, then I can do Star Rail on Thursday. But if people show up for Smash, then we'll do Smash on Thursday. Friday's Final Fantasy, I think we'll be beating the game at that point. Saturday, it's very unlikely that I do a stream on Saturday because it's the weekend of Christmas. Sunday, there's a slight chance that I do a Star Rail stream. Monday, unlikely to stream because it'll be Christmas. Tuesday, Smash, but likely no one will show up, so we'll actually just play it by ear, you know? I don't know what the schedule's going to be, basically. I know what it normally would be, but holidays mess everything up. But if you enjoyed today's stream, be sure to leave a like. If you want to see more from me, be sure to subscribe. We'll be back on Wednesday with more Final Fantasy. Thanks for watching, take care, and goodbye.